Extended format as well, which, as Paul was saying,
96.
will be alien to this pair, really. Rarely played in such a lengthy encounter. Best of 7 sets. The first to 4. I suppose the advantage of throw matters slightly less the longer the format goes on, but McEwen did win the bull back in the practice room.
Yeah, it's not as important, but
83.
It's tight near the end. Obviously, without the tie break this year, could be all important. Well, that's a long way off if it's going to be a tight match. Some of these quarterfinals, 7 sets can go on for an hour and a half, hour and 50 minutes.
Well, when they were best of 9, we had one year, didn't we, 4 years ago, when every single set was played.
It's a real test of stamina. I think Jim was not complaining, but he mentioned about feeling tired.
78.
I think that was more nervous tension than physical, because just the pressure of being on there in front of the crowd, the lights, the cameras, it does take its toll on you.
95.
Well, the stats suggest that the match is really all about McEwen. Neil Duff has put in almost exactly the same standard of performance in both matches, averaged 88 in each of them. But McEwen, following that ton-topping average in game 1, when he won 2-0, has won 3-1 against Aaron Turner, his average in the low 90s, and then 3-2 against Michael Warburton, his average in the mid-80s. So it's not the kind of pattern that he wants to take into the last
Jimmy require 144.
Obviously, that was one of the things Jim said. He just wanted to win a match on the stage, and obviously put everything into that first match.
Duff will get the opportunity to break in the opening leg.
54.
98
Neil,
required, treble 20
98.
to start. To land the first blow. Treble 18, can't find it, but McEwen's on 90. May only get a dart at the bullseye.
Jim, you require 90.
Nice, steady, deliberate. Not for the first time. That first dart's in treble 20, double 15. And that's a great finish to the first leg.
Jim McEwen.
He's nicely into the match.
To throw first. Game on.
Child's play for Chucky. A nice, neat 90 checkout.
140.
And you mentioned his brilliance on the treble 20. He has hit the most maximums in the tournament, Jim McEwen, 13 of them so far.
They are on the big screen.
Okay. Literally, for once, lost for words, Tony.
60.
It's nearly 20 years I've been coming here, and that's pretty normal, to be honest.
Yeah, they have made a great effort over the course of the week.
I must admit, I don't think the fashions have changed over the years. They were wearing similar to that 20 years ago. They've been raiding Granny's wardrobes.
Well, Jim McEwen himself, he's playing the seniors tour.
140.
And won't be entering the qualifier to play here at the Lakeside in the Masters, because you see, you're playing in the World Championship instead.
I can see a huge future for this seniors tours, because there's so many players that in and around that 50 that are just going to be able to join it soon, and the quality is just getting better every single year. As I said, I hope they do a super seniors where I can move on the 60 pluses and then the 70 pluses.
Is that the averages, Tony, or the ages?
Ages. Although I did average in the mid-80s in my first game, so I'll be well happy if I'm still playing in the mid-80s.
97. Neil, you require 62.
For Duff to square it up. Chooses tops. And hits tops.
On the second leg.
And here's a couple of clinical finishes from the pair of them, showing really no signs of nerves at the start of this match.
Very nice holds. Both settling into the game nicely. It's looking good already, this. Just 2 legs into the match.
Switching.
139.
There's a master of the maximum, but doesn't mind moving around the board. Should he not be happy with the lie?
That shows confidence, willing to switch. With 2 treble 20, he's already in the board. It's not the be and end all, is the 180. They're nice for the crowd, looks good, but if you don't feel it, you change.
If you are just joining us, we do have one semi-finalist already
100.
in the women's event. Kirsty Hutchinson fighting back to see off Priscilla Steenbergen. And Kirsty will face the winner of the match that follows this. Rhiannon O'Sullivan taking on Maria O'Brien.
$40. 100.
That's a ton from Neil. Notice darts there, they've got a really aggressive grip on them. Pretty similar to Jim's. Seems to be a trend that a lot of people now are playing with the aggressive rings around the barrels.
121.
Yeah, it's one of the fascinating aspects of the game, isn't it? Not only does everybody throw different, but everybody uses different equipment. It doesn't seem to be a gold standard. Well, so far the checking out has been flawless from this pair. But Jim can't leave himself a double.
57.
So Duff.
Neil, you require 82.
Well, look at the bullseye. 17. And tops.
62.
Close to the break there.
Jim, you require 44.
Needs 44. Well, it's not a disaster, that, because he needs 36, which is just next door. He doesn't have to change too much.
Yeah, but he's less comfortable on double 18. And there you
26.
see, he's a massive
Neil,
double top merchant,
20.
is McEwen. And that's why he reacted like he did. Can Duff take advantage?
10.
Unable to do so. Well, it's a contrast to the
Jim,
first couple of legs.
18.
Maybe the first signs of quarter-final nerves on show here. Double 9.
That's probably why he doesn't like the 18 route, because you end up on the double 9 route, and then you end up chasing around the board.
10. Neil, you
It's
require
important
10.
board management, how you play the leg. You're thinking about it probably 2 or 3 throws ahead.
Game shot on the third leg. Neil
Is
Duff.
that break?
Fourth leg, it's Neil
Advantage
to throw
Duff,
first.
who will now
Game
throw
on.
to take the lead in sets. McEwen, after missing the single four that would have left his
140.
favourite double, just unravelled from there, didn't he?
Yeah, 6 darts later, still didn't take the leg. And he obviously thought about that when he hit the double 4 that caused the problem.
140.
Yeah, to get over it though.
Maybe it's the thing about having a favourite double. We do see that now. A lot of players really trying to simplify the game and leaving
60.
the same double all the time. But when you can't leave that, or when you don't leave that, how much confidence have you got going for something else?
Exactly, it sort of closes off sections of the board to yourself, don't you? And technically, they're all the same size, and
60.
practice routines use every double on the board, every segment on the board to try and alleviate problems with doubles. But when it's actually during the match, people always tend to go for old favourites.
85.
Guilty as charged. Double 16 every time for me.
You had a bit more breathing space on that one, didn't you? Splits down more than any other.
Avoids hitting one single number if as I did, missed it plenty of times.
100.
It was a great last dart from Jim.
Yeah, it's a decent enough response, but Duff still...
55.
Well, I was about to say still in control, but without a treble there, though he's on a finish first, it's an enormous one.
Yeah, and any score around the tunnel put him close. That's the way he's heading.
May look at the ball.
130.
Looked at it, pinned it.
Neil, you require 161.
Duff would love to get a dart at the ball at the end of this combination, and treble 17 would give him one. Bullseye for the set.
136.
A little delay though after that
Jim,
treble
you
17.
require 71.
Yeah, that's not his game either, is it?
No, it's normally crash bang wallop. It's a great treble. 2 darts for 32. Only needed the one.
Fourth leg. Jim McEwen.
He's broke back. We're back on throw again.
Fifth leg. It's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Advantage McEwen now, after a missed dart at the bullseye that would have sealed the set for his opponent.
The game's going the way everyone thought. It's going to be tight. Probably go deep. Probably all 7 sets.
55.
Is Neil Duff already starting to fall into the trap
100.
of playing closer to McEwen's pace than his own?
I was just thinking exactly the same. And it is a trap. And it can happen both ways. Slow players can actually speed up. Just depends who not falls for it, but who they probably don't even know they're doing
60.
it.
Go on, Jim. Go on, Jim.
Jim McEwen supporters there. Both well supported today.
121.
That was a bit better, wasn't it? 3 quickly fired darts, 2 of them found the target. But yeah, that big step back before the bullseye for the set was uncharacteristic.
That's the beautiful thing about the fast throwers.
140.
They don't give themselves time to think or worry about missing. They just get on with it. It's also great to watch.
Yeah, you weren't one for
100.
waiting around and messing around. Lovely tribute there to Andy Fordham, who we sadly lost last year, a legend at the Lakeside.
Absolutely. Got the Scottish Open coming up in a couple of weeks. We're actually doing an evening for the Fordham family up at Ibrox just before the Scottish Open, which can't wait for that. We've done a few up there. Night for Andy. There's some legends there as well from football. It's going to be a great night.
80. Jim, you require 112.
So for the first set, Jim McEwen wants 112. Maybe 12 or 20 it. He's gone for the 12. So for the first set.
Game shot.
That's why he leaves it. That's why he loves it. And Jim McEwen leads in this match. The opening set goes the way of Chucky.
Neil to throw first. Game on.
Just seems so comfortable on that double. 112 check out to take
95.
the opening set of the match.
Virtually identical averages. And only the one leg in it, so really even game. Pretty much what we expected.
180.
And now the party started as McEwen weighs in with his first maximum. He's 14th
41.
of the tournament, more than anybody else.
First sign of emotion there from Neil.
121.
He did this against Mike Warburton, didn't he? At a key time in the match, he took a clinical finish out and then kicked off the following leg with a 180, the following set with the 180.
99.
Yeah, I think that was a run of 6 legs without reply, which was a real burst.
We may be on a burst here, a 180 followed by a 121. He's already down to a finish, unless he hits a single one with this last dart.
60.
Talking of Lakeside legends, and Martin Adams was quite good as well.
96. Jim, you require 140.
Great last darts, left him a finish in case Jim gives him the chance to come back, but he wants 140 once again. It's a great double there, double 10 now. And that's a break. What a great finish from Jim McEwen.
Jim McEwen.
It's that early break.
Second leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
It's a dozen dart leg, which he started with a 180, finished with a 140, making it back-to-back ton-topping checkouts. And you mentioned that Chucky burst. It looks like he's found the purplest of purple patches.
30.
Or had.
Right on cue, they make us look silly.
59.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Every darts player, every professional darts player or high-level amateur can reel off 12 and 15 dart legs, but the best players can keep their purple patches going for much, much longer.
And they do
81.
change games, these little bursts of high scoring, and especially there, great finishing. Two great legs back to back.
100.
One to win a set and one to break early in the next set. Again, he really needs to back that up now.
Yeah, it's just disappeared all of a sudden. And that will offer some encouragement to Duff, who hasn't really been in the race
98.
for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
That little spell against Mike Warburton, which, as we said, was 6 legs. When he did go off the ball, it was Mike's turn to chip in, then he had a little spell of himself. And came right back into it.
82.
He's got to believe he can do the same here.
100.
McEwen looking to be the first Scottish winner for the Lakeside since Les Wallace back in 1997. Lord McDanger himself.
60.
Great to see him at the World Seniors
Neil, you
there at
require
Purfleet.
144.
Seen him for donkey's years. Using 64, he'll be looking at the 16s, treble preferably.
128.
Picks it off nicely. Some way back on 218.
Yeah, well, it was the first time in the match that a player had lost a couple of legs on the spin, so Duff will be very happy to end that spell there.
81.
He returns looking
Neil, you require 16.
at double 8. Not under too much pressure.
Eight.
But McEwen is more than capable
Jim, you require
pulling these kind of
137.
checkouts out of nowhere, and if he hits the 57, you'll get 2 at his favourite double. When I say get 2, we need to hit it twice.
97.
He wouldn't have put it past him.
Neil, you require 8.
4 for Neil. Just inside again. Just inside again. And just inside again.
Score.
Well, shake of
Jim,
the
you
head
require
before
40.
he threw the last dart. Get your thoughts on that in a moment, but McEwen is on top, so of
Game
course it
shot, the
goes in,
second leg.
and it's 3 on the
Jim
spin.
McEwen.
And that was a bit of a gift.
Third leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, reacting, as McEwen apologises, but reacting before he'd even finished a visit there. He still had a dart to throw at double, and he was shaking his head. What do you make of that?
140.
No, you'd think it's a lack of confidence.
He's not usually a man that you could say lacked a bit of confidence.
Well, what we've seen pre-match, let's see if Jim finishes this.
Once again.
Well, we saw the first couple of matches. Uber confident was Neil. Not really said a lot about this game, whether that's a respect thing. That's a great answer.
180.
There's a couple of times that McEwen has won an important leg and then followed up with the maximum, but this time Duff
60
has produced solid replies. 140, 180.
He's in again. .107 required. So obviously 8, and he will be back. He's probably written this leg off, Jim. Still not pressuring this 261.
45.
Well,
Neil, you require
Neil Duff's
88.
problem so far has been doubling. He's missed 12 darts. He gets 2 more. He's miscounted there. Double 10 left.
Game shot on the
He finds
third
it.
leg. Neil
Jim
Duff.
McEwen pulled back
Fourth leg, it's Jim
in the
to
second
throw
set,
first.
but he does have the
Game on.
darts to lead 2-0. Well, Neil Duff was all at sea there. He managed to rescue himself after the miscount.
58. $100.
But even winning a leg, it's not one that he can take much confidence from. His head is just not exactly where it should be.
Yeah, the body language there. You wouldn't have thought
47.
he'd just won a leg. He actually played well in that leg, even after the miscount.
$140.
He's playing well. He's averaging over 90. Yet you'd think he was sort of 3-0 down already, looking at his body language.
Yeah, well, if you factor in all those missed darts at double, that suggests that he's actually scoring better than Jim McEwen in this match. The pair of them are averaging
68.
in a very similar range.
So, you're on this.
100.
Puts him on a 3-dart finish.
Well, he missed the bullseye for this to take the first set. He's going to have another opportunity at the same checkout to stay in the second set. Although he's not going to have to check it out.
83. Neil, you require 161.
There's 80 scored, 81, treble 19 possibly.
99.
Still a big lead to get that break straight back.
$83.
Doing everything right
Neil,
at the
you require
moment.
62.
The bit he struggled with is the bit at the end of the leg. And again, that's not where he was aiming. Nor is that.
30.
Kind of angrily through the last start, but he does leave the desired double.
And Jim back on a bogey number, so what we're going out, he'll just try and put a little bit of pressure on. 2 really well thrown darts there, right on that top wire.
65. Neil, you require 32. Game shot on the fourth leg. Neil Duff.
Well, he's fought back
Fifth leg, it's Neil to throw
from
first.
2 legs
Game
behind
on.
in this set. And now will throw to win the set. And what has been a really closely
85.
fought battle. But it still seems like one man is calm and composed and the other one is not feeling comfortable at all. And there you see Jim McEwen has missed just 4 darts at double in the game, and his opponent has squandered 13 opportunities.
140.
Basically, Neil's got to stop Jim from getting to them doubles.
45.
And I think all those 4, if I'm right, were when he didn't leave double top by accident. So just stop him leaving double top. I don't know how you go about that.
100.
Winning in 12 darts, virtually every leg's off comes to mind, but easier said than done, obviously. He's in the red again here.
135.
Great comeback.
They needed it. McEwen had effectively taken the darts with a couple of 3-figure visits. Another would put him on that 161.
100.
Beautiful last dart, giving himself a chance.
But it would be
123.
the ultimate blow, wouldn't it? The most ironic outcome.
Jim, you require 161.
If Duff, having missed 161 to win the first set, saw McEwen take it out to win the second. It's not going to happen, and Duff will return to the hockey with a chance to take the set himself.
65.
And after the first 2 trebles,
Neil, you
should have been
require
slightly less than this.
113.
But he's still in with a good chance. He's got the treble, 13 for tops.
93.
The double deserts Duff
Jim,
once
you
again.
require 96.
McEwen won't be leaving tops here. He might now, double 18.
Game shot on the
There was
second
never going to
set.
be any
Jim
other
McEwen.
outcome. When Jim McEwen found a way to leave double top, he was destined
To give him the chance, but he just looks so confident on the finishing.
I mean, 60% is a
43.
dream for any darts player in any darts match, isn't it? If he can maintain that, then there won't be any other outcome than him progressing to the semi-finals.
Yeah, because the scoring's not quite there as in
100.
previous games, but if you're finishing like that, it's a great plan B.
Well,
we know, sorry, Matt, we do know that these little bursts of legs that he puts together with the high scoring, combine that with the finishing,
100.
these next 2 sets could disappear pretty quickly.
yeah, and even after the break, just after that first visit, Tony, we saw Neil Duff come back, scratching his head, looking down.
92.
If he has been on the phone to Mum, she might have given him a telling off rather than some encouragement.
Looks a different player to that very first match. Confident, a little bit arrogant, which I don't have a problem with that.
45.
Well, yeah, first pre-interview against Justin Thompson, he said, I'll win 3-0. He was very assertive about that. He was true to his word. He then said he would beat Nick Fulwell at least 3-1. He did that, and then when I pressed him to make a prediction for this one, he declined. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think I mentioned something in one of the commentaries that he shouldn't change it. That was before his second game.
96.
Just do what you're doing. It worked, and it looked good, first round match. It's definitely knocked his confidence a little.
81.
At the end of the day, it's still only 2 sets.
Here comes McEwen piling on the pressure after Duff has left what is a tricky old finish, the 1-2-9.
177.
But that last dart,
Neil, you require 129.
his old friend.
Well, if I'm going to start making predictions Neil Duff style,
105.
I will predict Jim McEwen
Jim, you require
to hit
40.
double top.
Game shot on the first leg.
It's easy.
Jim McEwen. Second leg, it's Neil to throw first.
So it looks like Jim's just got to manoeuvre around the board and make sure he finishes on 40. And Bob's your uncle, game over.
66. 100.
Good start to this leg, though. It's early in the set, but you feel Neil's got to win this leg, to be honest. 2 sets down.
100.
To go 2 legs down as well, with McEwen going first the next leg. Starts a little pressure, but he's dealing with it so far.
100.
He's that 167. If he takes that out, it will be the highest of the tournament.
Yeah, we've seen 164s from Mike Warburton.
41.
And Richard Vainstra, and
Neil,
of course,
167.
Veronica Rihas, who produced the highest checkout ever in the women's event here.
60.
Still comfortably ahead here is Neil. That's what Jim can fill. And there's 2. For yet another 180. Piles the pressure on.
Neil, you require 107.
47 left. Normally we'll go for 15, but he went for the 7 and missed the big number.
91. Jim, you require 114.
Well, we know what Jim will leave, or will try to leave.
Can still do it. Treble 18 will leave him that tops.
This is for 5 out of 5 on this target. And in it goes
shot
again.
On the second leg, Jim McEwen.
Hasn't missed a single dart of that double.
Third leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
McEwen mustered on tops and on top in this quarter-final.
Well, you've got to admire the finishing, but a couple of mistakes from Neil then, and he was looking so good in that leg, and
100.
30 seconds later he's lost the leg. Finds himself 2-0 down. And really, to stay in the match, he's got to win the next 3 legs. That's real pressure.
Yeah, 3 sets down is an enormous deficit. And it's not like Duff hasn't turned up. He's still hanging around at the same kind of average as McEwen in the match. It is just a case of McEwen's missing nothing and the doubles are deserting Duff.
60.
If that was my father, he owes me 60 years of spends. Chance to really pile it on there, Jim, but poor visit. Neil's got to jump all over this.
100.
A nice ton, good last dart, but probably not enough.
Well, he knows he can't let McEwen get down to doubles. He's actually increased that checkout percentage
100.
that he took into this third set. He's now up to hitting more than 2/3 of darts at double, and every single dart that he's thrown at his favourite.
180.
Brilliant 180.
Yeah, will that put him off? Will that just rattle his cage a little bit?
Did it a slightly different way, but he went the way that would have left him tops, but slipped into the 7. Leaves him 90.
Could you call that a forced error after the maximum?
76.
Possibly, that pressure was there, but he's managed to do it yet again with that bullseye. Double 8. Oh, that's a great finish. Well done, Neil.
Neil Duff.
He must have looked at that score when that ball went and thought, not again.
Fourth leg, it's Neil to throw first.
Stood up,
Game
was
on.
countered. It's only part of the job done, though. He still has to win these next 2 legs for me.
97.
Great cover.
First one on throw, and then he'll need to break. The scoring very, very similar. A different case completely when it comes to checking out.
125.
That was a great recovery from Jim there. Slipped into the 5, but found the red bit, found the lipstick twice straight after
44.
it. And with this start, he'll steal the throw. So much space.
140.
Well, 125, 140 will do very nicely indeed when his opponent hasn't posted a 3-figure score in this leg.
60.
And still not. Well, the set's there for the taking here for Jim. I think that dart was because he's already worked out how to get to 40 by hitting the 1
77.
deliberately.
It is a remarkable showing of finding ways to leave double top
100.
and then hitting it every single time.
Right, how does he get 119 here?
$137.
Well, if he'd have picked over at the 13s and at the treble, he would have left 40 there. So just concentrating on get it down.
100.
Bit clumsy leaving 22,
Jimmy
to be honest. But
22.
looks like he is going for it.
So 3 for double 4. Something different,
Game
but still
shot
as
in the
good.
first set.
And Jim
McEwen.
McEwen marches into a 3-set lead
Full
here.
set first leg. It's Neil to throw first.
And if Neil
Game
Duff
on.
is to stay in this tournament, he is going to have to produce the comeback of all comebacks.
Yeah, something we've not really seen this week. A big comeback.
100.
Obviously the sets are longer now, so it's going to get technically more difficult to come back. Like you say, Chris, nothing in the averages really.
86.
Yeah, both in the low 90s. Decent enough stuff with the scoring. Plenty of this.
140.
Well, there's arguments for players now they're 3-0 down, and it's happened plenty of times in the past where they just play with a bit more freedom.
Well, he's had the same amount of 140s as McEwen. He's had more 100-plus visits.
100.
All right, he's one behind on the maximums, but...
So without looking at the scoreboard, just looking at them stats, you'd think he'd be maybe 3-0 ahead.
125.
Incredible that this game isn't closer, but there is only one dart that really matters in every leg.
And that's the last one. And it's been the last one mostly in that double top that's done the damage.
Neil, you require 136.
A bit of breathing space this time for Neil Duff.
96.
And that's a great last dart. Chance for him to join the party. That double top party.
$99.
So
Neil,
then,
you require 40.
can Duff call round at Jim's
Game
house?
shot on the first
Yes, he
leg.
can.
Neil Duff. Second leg, it's Jim to throw first.
Well, it's the first small
Game
step
on.
on a 1,000-mile journey for Neil Duff. Jim McEwen, the Ayrshire race, he is just granite, isn't he? Nothing seems to bother him.
140.
He wins a leg, he comes back and hits a maximum. He loses a leg, he comes back and hits a 140.
Yeah, only a little setback, he's
46.
straight back into it, and really impressive. Talking about Ayrshire, I've had a couple of texts during the break. Tim Law and Wooly Burns, two friends from Scotland, actually mentioned that it could be an all Ayrshire county final if if Jim gets through, and
32.
Cammy gets through, Mr. Menzies, they actually play together for Ayrshire County. I don't know if that's ever happened before, English or Scottish or Welsh counties.
Well, also
97.
the World Seniors champion Robert Thornton is from Ayrshire as well. Something in the Ayrshire.
$140.
Well, this Ayrshire Arrows ace is doing an amazing job on the hockey. And is just 3 legs away from reaching the semi-finals of the Lakeside World Championship on debut.
$59. $100. Jim, you require 130.
Jim going for the little fish. I don't remember seeing that this week. He'll stay there for that treble 20.
Bullseye. You know why?
90. Neil, you require
Sometimes you think he's doing this deliberately. Neil can't finish this now. He can put a little bit of pressure,
97.
which he does.
Jim, you require 40.
Can't keep happening, surely.
Game
yes, he
shot on
can.
the second leg. Jim McEwen.
That is absolute
Third leg,
quality.
it's Neil to throw first.
6 out of 6 on that target for Jim McEwen.
60.
Flawless display of finishing on that double. And how much confidence must that give a player?
I mean, to use the bull like that, I mean, there's so many ways of leaving a finish, but that's twice he's done it.
100.
And obviously we know it's deliberate, but so good to watch.
$55.
And if anything, he's scoring slightly less than his previous game, so it's all about them doubles.
Well, I think from now on, if he leaves double top, they should just give him the leg and start the next one.
85.
That's the first time I've seen Jim pull a face during this
85.
match. He wasn't happy with that single 5. He's just been so focused.
We spoke about the great Robert Thornton earlier. There was a period where he was regarded as the best double top hitter in the world. Took him to victory at the World Grand Prix in 2015.
94.
Obviously in that tournament, starting and finishing on a double.
That fell right into his wheelhouse. That's a perfect format for
60.
Robert. Back in the winners' enclosure recently as well.
Yeah, that World Seniors title.
He'll be back here at the Lakeside in a few weeks to play in the Seniors Masters.
Have you managed to wangle your way into that one, Tony?
Yes, I think it's probably because of the walk-on more than anything, to be honest. But yeah, I've managed to get an invite.
Now, don't do yourself down, Tony. Leave that to me.
With pleasure.
Well, if McEwen ever got the chance to play at the World Grand Prix, then it'd be a danger, wouldn't he?
Well, I joked about it early on, but there's probably a little truth in that, to be honest. Oh, he's just around the 50, but too busy playing some quality events. Not thinking about the seniors quite yet, but when they do, we're going to be flooded with quality players.
I think he's actually a reserve for the Players'
28.
Championship weekend this weekend, Jim McEwen.
Neil, you require 141.
So the next on the list will be very happy.
It does seem to happen quite a lot when reserves are getting into these Pro Tour events. A lot of people are pulling out, but the schedule is so punishing.
Jim, you require 148.
But he could have been playing in Barnsley, in Reading for the seniors qualifier, or here at the Lakeside, which is obviously his preference, because he's about to move 2 games away from becoming a world champion.
92. Neil, you require 86.
Well, this really is a must-get for me. He's got the first part, 2 darts at 32. This is a big dart.
78.
Just inside again. I think we know where this first dart's
Jim,
going.
you require 56.
16. And you know the rest.
Game shot on the third leg. Jim McEwen.
There's not really much to say about it,
Fourth
to be
leg, it's
honest.
Jim to throw first. Game on.
It's unreal. He'd be really good on a Yorkshire board, wouldn't he, where there's no treble 20. They all aim for that double top. He'd be world champion at that if we had a tournament with the Yorkshire board.
140.
Yeah, 120 every visit. So 7 attempts,
140.
7 hits. And now he only needs to hit that or another double once more, and he's the first man through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's been 7th heaven for Mr. McEwen.
60.
A little glimmer of hope here for Neil. But this is what he needed to do. Punish it.
123.
Yeah, Duff has actually had 7 more darts at doubles than McEwen has had in this match. In legs, Jim McEwen
100.
leads 11-6.
$54.
There's an opening now for Jim. Not the treble yet.
65.
Just feeling now it's
82.
inevitable a bit there. I think Neil was thinking.
Jim,
Rescued
you
it with that
require
treble 19 though.
136.
Looking at the bullseye here. And now back up for treble 20.
60. Neil, you require 102.
Got to go. Leaves him 82. Went for the bigger target there, treble 14.
54.
Is he now argument here that Jim would rather hit 2 singles
Jim,
than
you
the treble?
require 76.
I mean, he's been that good on tops. You just don't know. I'd be surprised, to be honest. You can see the winning post. And that's exactly where he's going.
It had to happen, didn't it?
56.
And right at the end, the perfect
Neil, you
record
require 48.
is tarnished. Double 8 to save
Game
his
shot
skin.
on the fourth leg.
And the first time
Neil
that
Duff.
McEwen misses tops, Neil Duff cashes in.
Who'd have thought it missed tops to win the match? Do you think he'll change doubles now?
Well, they do say, Tony, that the hardest double to hit
Game on.
is the one to win the match, and that's the time he pulled it low.
That was a perfect example.
And that, of course, has allowed Neil
100.
Duff to break and throw to extend this match at least a little longer.
$60. $60.
Big respect to Neil there, fighting back. Probably thought the worst after that single 16 went in. For the first time in forever, he missed tops. He's in here though.
140.
He's in a slight lead. That's from Neil. There's 2 more. Can he fill it up? He can.
180.
That's fighting, he's showing spirit.
We're back at that 161, which he missed the bullseye for to win the first set, and it's all gone wrong from there.
84. Neil, you require 161.
.81 left, treble 19. Leaves him a double. That double's 12, and he will be back for it.
So just when Jim McEwen was on the brink of a place in the semi-finals, had a dart, a double he hadn't missed to get there.
Shot on the fourth set.
Neil Duff denies him. He delivers double 12. And
I said to him, just do what you did early in the tournament.
Well, his doubling has sharpened up slightly. He's now up at 32%, which is okay. But Jim McEwen is twice as good in that department.
43.
Closer to 65. And Jim's scoring, you've mentioned it, he'd hit the most maximum
45.
Coming into this match. He's hit 3. That's the same amount as Neil Duff, who had only hit 3 across his previous 2 matches. His scoring hasn't been as good as we've seen.
Apart from them odd 180s, like
140.
almost like that one. But yeah, if Jim sort of slackens off on the scoring a little bit, could have a turnaround. Due a big comeback.
180.
That's going to help. That means Duff has now hit more maximums than McEwen, which not many would have thought before the match. He's still getting the big scores, but he is getting a lot of visits of 43, the 60s, the 59, shots like that in between them.
Yeah, which averages out and sort of takes the effect away of the big scores. He's back in here again. Puts him on a finish.
140.
We talk a lot about these breaks, but it's what wins matches.
There we're seeing the wayward darts again. It's happening more often than
50.
McEwen would like, but he does manage to leave himself a finish. You can't hit what you don't leave, so it shows he's keeping his emotions in check.
Yeah, which he's been pretty good at the whole week, to be honest. I mean, the Warburton game, there's a few times during that match where
Jim,
his head might have dropped,
170.
but kept his composure.
Well, this is for a break when Neil Duff comes back.
125. Neil, you require 76.
Double top.
Game shot on the first leg.
As well.
Neil Duff.
Well, he's taken over, hasn't he? He's hit double top at his last 2
it's Neil
attempts.
to throw first.
McEwen missing in between. It's like double top is now having an affair with Neil Duff.
Yeah, during a darts match, it's usually that treble 20 that needs changing. Maybe the first time in history they might have to change the board because the double top's wearing out.
.58.
So he gets a break, and he's now favourite to make this match 3-2 in sets.
180.
That's perfection. You get the break, the first thing you've got to do is pile on your darts the next one. Looking good for a 2-0 lead in this 5th set. And if that was to happen, it's a completely different match we've got.
140.
Just looks a little bit more confident as well. Back to back.
That's the pace he was throwing at in the early part of the tournament.
And in the blink of an eye, he's hit twice as many maximums as McEwen.
85.
Maybe about to produce the best
Neil,
leg of this game.
41. Game shot on the second leg.
That's his territory now.
There's a little example of the speed picking up. He'd actually thrown that first dart before Charlie got a chance to shout him what he required. He's really up the pace again. It's actually starting to show.
100.
Well, this is incredible.
140.
Nearly every dart he's thrown in the last couple of legs has found something red.
Basically, he had to do it.
$55. $90.
Only 90, but 3 well thrown darts there. The lead.
Well, remember, McEwen had the darts in this set. So if Neil Duff does keep this advantage and make it 3-2, he will then have the darts in the following set to force us to a decider that seemed very, very unlikely when Jim McEwen was throwing at that double top to win the match 4-0.
Incredible turnaround. Just what he needed to try and stop this flow. Again, he's straight in again. 19 will leave him tops.
139. Jim,
well, he's now on a run of 3 out of 3 on that target. McEwen hoping to deny him, but that chance has disappeared immediately.
$58. Neil, you require 40. $20.
Now then, this is what was happening earlier in the match.
Jim requires 66.
3 clear darts missed at double.
And Jim was coming in and mopping up, stealing them legs.
Looks at the score. How can I leave tops?
Well, technically he can. Maybe at an exhibition he could.
Can now. A single 12. Friends again.
46.
But not quite yet.
Neil, you require 20. Game shot on the 5th set.
And Neil Duff has reeled off 3 straight legs to take set 5, and now has the darts in the 6th. All he has to do is hold 3 times, and he will force a deciding set.
6th set,
if anyone
first leg. It's Neil to throw first. Game on.
Have a pop at something else and come back. They probably don't believe this. Big swing in the average
60.
as well. Again, he's done the hard work. He's got back. It's his throw. Just hold it 3 times and we've got a square game. Who thought that 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, remember, Jim McEwen had 1 dart to win the match 4-0. Now the likelihood is that it will go 3-3.
60.
Neil Duff has persevered in set play. At 3-0 down, it's easier to think that there is a way back than if you're 9-0 down
45.
In a match play situation.
Yeah, race to 10 legs.
Yeah. I mean, I did mention about maybe playing with a bit of freedom once you're that far behind.
140.
Jim still has a chance, but you've got to think that might be it. As long as he doesn't tense up once it gets level again, if it does get level again.
Well, that just tells you the story of the match, because we've been saying about McEwen's scoring not being
123.
where it usually has been, and he's had 13 darts fewer at double than his opponent. Has hit the vast majority of them, which is what gave him the lead. But Duff must have known that if he started hitting his doubles, then he could work his way back into the match, and that's exactly what he's done. Should look at the bullseye. Because that 25 leaves the 170. We haven't seen yet this week.
Gives him 62, treble 10 probably.
94. Jim, you require 170.
He still wants 47, 2 data, but for a much needed finish. And there's the first one. He's a better fella there. For the first time this week, bullseye for a 170.
123.
Well, McEwen's
Neil, you require 47.
magic touch just deserting him at the moment.
Game
And Neil Duff has found his.
Neil Duff.
He's got his mojo back as Neil Duff.
Game on.
And a bit of a reaction there, a bit of a response from Duff, who's now starting to enjoy himself. How many times has Jim done this, though?
140.
Kicked off a leg so strongly after a setback.
45.
Wow, 80.
It has been a great start to the quarterfinals day for the men. Great game to get us off.
100.
Crackers to come later in the day.
Yeah, it looked like being a formality.
Obviously, you expect closer games when you get to the quarterfinals. Everyone's usually warmed up through the week. Starting to play the best starts, you expect it to be tight.
81.
Well, still to come this
100.
afternoon. Rhiannon O'Sullivan against Maria O'Brien. They're waiting in the practice room. They'll have had to readjust their preparation.
And then Paul, sorry, mate. Paul made that point early on about he'd always rather be on first. You know exactly when you're on.
Absolutely.
100.
Thibaut Tricol against Andy Bartons, who produced a dazzling display last night, the third highest average ever at the Lakeside World Championship.
100. Jim, you require 97.
Well, it's 88 left.
Could have gone treble 16 to leave tops, but would have been a bit cheeky.
Yeah, it would have left 72 with a single 16.
43. Neil, you require 156. $100. Jim, you require 54.
I think you'll go 12 double 16. Sorry. That'll be 44 anyway.
Game shot on the second
And
leg.
normal services
Jim
resumed.
McEwen. Third leg, it's Neil to throw first.
Well, yeah, that should settle him down a little bit, shouldn't it, Jim McEwen?
180.
Because he had missed, I think it was the last 3 for that target. But now Duff is doing to McEwen what McEwen's been doing to Duff. He responded with a maximum. Doesn't stop Jim, though.
180.
Quality darts.
$97.
Four perfect darts. Just saying.
83.
Not sure if Jim did hit a 9-darter in the online league. Everyone seems to have hit one last few months.
Well, actually what's happened is a couple of people have hit two. Martin Adams being one of them, James Richardson the other. Colin Osborne. And one other that's escaped my mind at the moment. But Jim did hit a 9-darter on the Pro Tour against Lakeside legend
44.
Raymond van Barneveld. 4 tops. In it goes
shot
again.
on the third leg. Neil Duff. Fourth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Well, that was definitely lacking them first 2 or 3 sets. Seemed to drift away from me, but bouncing around a bit now, and the darts are improving.
$45. $100.
Great quality there, them scores. 14 maximums between them. High quality affair this game. And getting better.
87.
Yeah, it really is a good standard. They were kind of around the mid-80s early in the match. It moved to the low 90s. McEwen is still around there, but Duff now averaging 95.
135.
Looks like it's going to head to that last
47.
5th leg of this set. A big lead here.
Yeah, well, that's what Neil Duff wouldn't have minded. He said all he has to do is hold, hold, hold. But then
23.
McEwen has the darts in the deciding set. And you said right at the start of the match that that could be crucial, even in this longer format. That could be a crucial maximum, because McEwen mucked up in the previous turn, and now Duff is on a finish first from nowhere.
He's drifted into the one again there. 160 required, 2 in hand. It's an awkward dart, it's a blocker. Doesn't like changing, but I think he'll have to.
42. Neil, you require 142.
Well, they may still get the chance.
60.
McEwen on a
Jim, you require 121.
big ton plus checkout that may end in a dart at the bullseye. He needs a treble 17 to get even that, and he can't get that.
85.
The biggest finish of the match by a mile, this.
Neil, you require 82.
Pressure on this. Bullseye will be the first. He's at the 9. 73, treble 19 for double 8. Not going to do it.
46.
We saw Jim struggle with this double 18 early on. Had to chase around the board
Jim,
a
you
bit.
require 36.
If he's not going to hit it first out, he wants one just to the right of the wire. Basically that. Great marker. Even better marker.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
Jim McEwen finds a new friend.
5th leg, it's Neil to throw first.
Another double to hit. And once again, he's one away.
95.
As we know, that last one, that one away, is the hardest one to get. Neil's had the darts here. Kicks off with a 95.
Well, whatever happens, whether it's won in this leg
100.
or it does go to a deciding set, it's turned into a gripping game of darts here at the Lakeside.
And all the credit in the world to Neil Duff.
100.
Never gave up when things seem to be going wrong. I mean, all them double tops, it must grind you. Just grind it.
McEwen making his move.
180.
McEwen making a maximum.
96.
There's a good reply, but you feel here he's got 6 darts from 2-2-1. What he wanted.
Yeah, he's going to need more than 6.
$100.
Well, McEwen is thinking 140 to leave tops, and then Neil Duff would have to take out the 110.
It's a little drift into the treble 1 again.
42. Neil, you require 110.
He's left 140, the highest checkout of the match, but Duff is going to get a dart at that double top.
90. Jim, you require 138.
Sorry, 138 that McEwen's left. Another. For double 12. McEwen misses again. And match start goes begging to win 4-0. Another
20.
to win 4-2.
Game shot on the 6
Had to be, didn't it?
Neil Duff.
What a great comeback from Neil Duff. Who'd have thought this 30 minutes ago? It looked done and dusted. And now we're going to a last set decider.
7th and final set. First leg, it's Jim to throw first.
Turning into one of them Lakeside legend
Game
games.
on.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, we had that quarter-final day back in 2018 when every single quarter-final went the distance.
180.
Another 180 from Jimbo.
He's picked up the pace on the maximums, Jim McEwen. He's now hit 7. We spoke about
60.
That fabulous quarter-final today. It was best of 9 then. Every match went 5-4, but they were all very different kind of games, weren't they?
180.
Yeah, this is a special kind of game. Superb comeback. Actually sneaks ahead in the match.
$27.
And at times, in the last 10 minutes or so, McEwen has been all over the place. From the 2-2-1 at the end of the last leg, it was a couple of visits like that.
57.
With no impression. A shake of the head there from Jim.
45.
Followed by a single 5.
Neil, you require 164.
Yeah, the reaction, it's complete anguish for the Ayrshire ace here.
122.
He's in the driving seat. There's that word again, break.
Well, Neil Duff, who survived a match start
39.
to lose 4-0, then
Neil, you
another
require
to lose
42.
4-2, is about to become favourite to win this darts match. Double 16. He
Game
breaks.
shot on the first leg.
He leads
Neil Duff.
for the first time in the match.
Second leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
Before the first match of the tournament that he played, he said he was born to do this. He's actually looking like it at the moment.
60.
Well, he refused to make a prediction, but he did say, I don't care if I fall over the line.
That's sort of a prediction, isn't it?
Yeah. He's lived a charmed life in this game, but he's persevered.
96.
He's backed himself. He's as you said, picked up the pace and become more of himself as the game has gone on. And he's found his feet just at the right time.
It'd be nice to find out after that break where he did seem to change and he speeded the game up, whether some of his friends who were with him, and there's plenty of them, maybe one of them actually gave him that bit of advice to pick up the pace.
96. $60.
19s to start. A couple of treble 20s would leave a finish.
There's one of them.
139.
Great board management. Here's the big one.
$95. Jim, you require 170.
60. And again. And surely 10. He's gone for the ball.
123.
And literally at the same hole. I'm sure he hit a single three. Last time we went for the 170.
Can't believe that he didn't just tee up tops.
Sometimes you just get the feeling, it feels right. So
Jim, you required 47.
Maybe he felt he needed something special just to set himself off again. He is back on tops now. And he's back on top now because he levels up the set
McEwen.
and takes the darts and therefore takes the advantage.
Third leg, it's Jim to throw.
Single three wasn't the disaster we thought at first. Giving the opportunity to hit that 7 and his best friend up there at the top of the board. 17 180s between them. Great effort, guys.
81.
Well, now they're really in the heat of battle, having played out a grueling contest that has had twists and turns.
140.
The pair of them know that there is only minutes to go left in this match. Who can hold their nerve? Who can keep calm?
100.
And who can carry on to the semi-finals at the Lakeside World Championship?
100.
Start from Neil. The game's been going a while now, but Neil looks still really fresh. Probably fresher than he did at the start of the game. And there's another maximum 180 from Neil.
180.
Go back up again. 20 scored, 160 required. Would love a treble 20 here.
40.
Not got it.
Neil, you require 81.
Well, 20 for tops.
Game
What a
shot
dart
on the
that is. What a moment it is.
Duff.
And now Duff has wrestled back the advantage. He has the darts. And if he holds, he will complete a quite remarkable comeback win.
Throw first. Game on.
But both players so far on throw have seemed to show signs of feeling under pressure.
100.
That'll help that last dart, though. Calming down a little.
Remember, no tie-break legs at this year's tournament. Whoever gets to 3 first in this final set will advance to the semi-finals.
140. 81.
Jim, he said to himself,
81.
Rescued it a bit. He's still in trouble here, to be honest. Especially with that first dart.
100.
That was a better ton than it looked, that.
Well, it's possible that that miss at double top, when McEwen was 7 out of 7 to win 4-0, might cost him
40.
the match.
It's too easy to say the game's totally changed, because that was for the game, and now we're looking at probably Neil stealing it.
He did have another dart to win in 6 sets at double 12.
60.
No treble there, just makes it a little bit interesting. McEwen must hit a treble. Must hit a treble with this dart.
100.
How did he do it?
Neil, you require 160.
It was great under pressure. Another one of them, though. 80 scored, leaves him 80. Staying up there.
100. Jim, you require 140.
Had a few big moments in this match. This would be the biggest for me. It's not going to happen now, though.
McEwen has missed 2 match darts.
38.
Now Neil Duff will get 2.
Neil, you require 60.
And as if to rub salt into the wound, they're at double top.
Game, shot!
And Duff has done it.
Neil Duff!
The great escape